In 2015, the late Satoru Iwata announced that Nintendo would begin pursuing mobile games as a secondary venture to supplement their home consoles. Since then, Nintendo has launched over half a dozen titles on mobile, not to mention the countless titles they've helped develop for the Pokémon series alone. Most of Nintendo's mobile offerings are popular enough, some lasting now half a decade, though only 2 have ever gotten a big spotlight. One of those 2 is Fire Emblem Heroes, which is by far Nintendo's most successful mobile game, and one of its longest-lasting titles on mobile devices as well. With events like the annual Choose Your Legends and A Hero Rises popularity polls, the game always has something going on to keep fans excited. In addition to that, the style of gameplay of the Fire Emblem series translates extremely well to mobile, with the ability to quickly and easily customize your units and combat taking place on small maps. Heroes has been the only mobile game that's been able to keep me engaged for more than a couple months or so. On top of that, it became the first mobile game to be represented in the Super Smash Bros. Series, when the menu theme was included among Fire Emblem's soundtrack in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The other mobile game Nintendo likes to shine in the spotlight is Mario Kart Tour. The Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass is an obvious example of this, with the DLC being based heavily on the mobile title. But Nintendo has used many other events, such as the Mario 35th Anniversary, to highlight the title. At first glance, Mario Kart Tour seemed like it would be a perfect fit for mobile devices. Mario Kart is an extremely popular series that balances casual and competitive gameplay experiences extremely well, with a cast of some of gaming's most iconic characters and a history of fantastic course design that has kept people playing these titles even decades after their release. I eagerly signed up to participate in the open beta for Mario Kart Tour, but quickly discovered that the game didn't really live up to my expectations. For those of you who haven't played the title before, here's a quick rundown of how it works. Like the main series titles, races are divided into cups, which consist of 3 races and a minigame rather than the typical 4 races. At the start of each race, the player chooses their character, kart, and glider. And during each race, your primary goal is to collect as many points as possible by performing tricks, using items, collecting coins, drifting, gliding, etc. Meanwhile, the mini-games can range from gliding as long as possible to avoiding all the obstacles on a course, to defeating as many Goombas as possible, or to keep a combo going for as long as possible. 12 cups are available at a time in what's called a tour, generally focusing around a new or returning course that's been added to the game for the first time, as well as new characters, karts, or gliders available to obtain from pipes. Pipes are used to get new characters and karts and gliders by spending the rubies, or the in-game currency, you obtain by completing quests. A tour and the corresponding pipe last for about 2 weeks. Now that the basic overview is out of the way, it's time to get through my frustrations with the game. Number 1 is that the game is incredibly greedy compared to Fire Emblem Heroes. In terms of obtaining characters, karts, and gliders, it would be considered a gacha game. Essentially, trying to get a new character or kart would be like gambling, spending rubies to try and get something you're not guaranteed to get. Fire Emblem Heroes is in this same genre, but it's considered extremely generous, regularly making older, rare characters easier to obtain, and giving new players new sets of heroes to summon extremely often. And on top of that, all players get the first summon for each new set of heroes for completely free. Tour doesn't allow players to use the pipe for free for the first time. Instead, the free uses of the pipe are based entirely on the player's performance in races. On top of that, rubies are also pretty hard to come by compared to Fire Emblem Heroes in-game currency, orbs. The breakdown for rubies for a free-to-play player in Mario Kart Tour is about 22 from challenges and 10 from login bonuses, meaning 32 every 2 weeks or 64 each month. Fire Emblem Heroes, on the other hand, gives players the opportunity to earn about 300 orbs each month, between those obtained from story maps, events, and challenges. That breakdown is especially crazy when you realize that 3 rubies in Tour and 3 orbs in Heroes cost the same amount to purchase, $1.99. You can get more rubies in Tour, but these come from ranked cups, which, again, are based entirely on a player's performance. During a tour, your performance in 2 of the 12 cups are ranked against other players, with the top 3 players receiving prizes for their total scores, including anywhere from 10 to 40 rubies. But even then, your total rubies each month is still less than half that of Heroes. And that brings me to my next complaint. It's very difficult to actually succeed in Mario Kart Tour. In every other Mario Kart title, your character doesn't matter all too much. Sure, characters have different stats, that's for sure. I main Koopa Troopa and Drybones because I prefer the gameplay style of the lightweight characters. But in Mario Kart Tour, the importance of your character, cart, and glider increase dramatically, because they directly impact how well you can do in a race before the race even starts. Each race divides characters, carts, and gliders into 3 tiers. Characters determine the number of items you can get when you pass an item box in the game. The bottom tier characters give you 1 item, the mid tiers give you 2, and the top tiers give you 3. The top tier characters also unlock the Frenzy ability, which allow you to become invincible for a short period of time when you get 3 of the same item from an item box. Moving on, the mid tier carts will increase the amount of points you earn by 50%, while top tier carts increase the points you earn by 100%, meaning you get double the points for drifting or performing a trick. And lastly, mid-tier gliders double the amount of points you get for keeping a combo and increases the amount of time your combo can last, while using a top-tier glider triples the points you get for keeping a combo and further increases the amount of time your combo can last. This is all extremely important, because if you have top-tier characters, carts, and gliders for each race, you can get more points, and in the end, your goal isn't to get first place, it's just to get as high a score as possible. With that in mind, your opponents aren't obstacles keeping you from getting to first place, but they're obstacles keeping you from maintaining a combo. After every item box, you could have upwards of 21 shells, bananas, and mushrooms on the field that could potentially slow you down, and getting constantly interrupted by items is not a fun way to play, especially when there isn't really a strategy to items in the game. Typically in Mario Kart, you can hold your item behind you, and then at each item box, make the decision of whether to keep that item, or let go and risk it to try and get something better. In Tour, you can still hold your items behind you to protect from your opponent's items, but you can't keep those items when you reach another box. Instead, you have to give up everything you have, which could potentially make you vulnerable to incoming attacks, which could potentially lose you the race. But if the constant bombardment of items doesn't stop you from winning, the controls most certainly will. Tour uses the auto-acceleration feature from Mario Kart 8, meaning the cart moves forward without you having to do anything, which at face value seems like the best way to operate the game. But the problem arises when the fact that steering the cart doesn't seem all that effective when it comes to actually maneuvering in-game. When trying to move out of the way of obstacles, it can be very difficult to keep from hitting them. The end result is an inability to win races, which leads to lower scores, which keeps you from getting the resources necessary to actually improve yourself in the game. And the difficulty to obtain a good number of resources as a free-to-play player is only exacerbated by the egregious amount of in-app purchases made available to players. Tour has special offer packs, which have carts and sometimes characters that are unable to be obtained from pipes, that you can purchase for the low price of anywhere between $19.99 and $39.99, depending on the resources you get with them. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? And sure, Fire Emblem Heroes gives players the opportunity to purchase rare characters, but they only cost $5. About a year before Tour release, I gave a presentation to a college class about how greedy in-app purchases are, and cited these $5 starter packs as greedily forcing players to spend money on rare characters. Now, that price tag seems extremely tame. There are also special challenge boards that offer rare resources, carts, and gliders, and these challenge boards cost $5 to unlock, but you don't pay $5 once and get all of these boards forever. Each challenge board individually costs $5. And then there's the Gold Pass, which doubles all of the resources you earn, gives you more rubies, and unlocks a new game mode, the 200cc speed. This pass costs $5 a month, and again, you might argue that Fire Emblem Heroes has a similar subscription service. But there are 2 major differences. The first is that Fire Emblem Heroes doesn't lock any game modes behind the subscription like Tour does with 200cc. Everything Heroes subscription adds is optional, and most of it is a series of quality of life updates. In addition to that, Heroes' subscription service only became available after the game was around for about 3 years, while Mario Kart Tour was advertising the Gold Pass from day one. And that isn't even to mention the fact that Tour's multiplayer was originally going to be locked behind the Gold Pass as well. From the start, Mario Kart Tour has been a bad game, incentivizing the expensive in-app purchases and having by far the worst controls in the series' history. And to be completely honest, if it weren't for the Booster Course Pass, I wouldn't have realized that Tour was still available on the App Store. But those are just my own opinions of the game. I'm just going off of my experiences with it. If you like Mario Kart Tour and you disagree with my opinions on the game, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you like the video, please comment below, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when my newest videos are out and my streams are live. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.